Hi, and welcome back to Week 5, Glorious Freedom. Again, let me take just a second and really encourage you as a group. Make sure tonight as you discuss freedom that you're willing to share stories, you're willing to open your hearts to one another, you're willing to encourage and affirm one another, and really listen to each other's stories, because that is how you're going to continue to grow as a spiritual warrior. Freedom. You know, we are so easy when we talk about coming to Jesus. We love talking about our salvation and the fact that He saved us from sin and death. But you know, we fall short of everything that Jesus is offering us if we leave out freedom. In John 8:31 through 32, Jesus is talking to the religious leaders and He says, look, if you're going to be my disciple and you really respond to my teaching, you will know the truth and the truth will set you free. What are we free from? We're free from the bondage of sin. All of the baggage that accompanies sin, the guilt, the shame, the embarrassment, the feeling that you're being beaten down by the enemy constantly. Freedom is glorious because it truly allows us to really live that John 10:10 life where Jesus says, look, I came so that you may have life and have it to the full. Freedom is awesome, and that's who we are, not only as believers and disciples, but as spiritual warriors. One of my favorite scenes in the movie Braveheart happens at the very beginning of the movie. The Scottish clans have come down to meet their English captors who are just holding them in bondage, and they are about to go to war. But most of the Scottish noblemen are trying to really parlay or talk to settle with their English captors. William Wallace shows up and he gives this stirring speech where basically he's calling all of his brothers not to be willing to stay in bondage to England and to a king that is just holding them as he is a tyrant, holding them into bondage. And he gives this great speech, and the end of the speech he says, would you give your whole life from the time now until the time that you die to realize that we faced our enemies and we told them, you can take our life, but you will never take our freedom. Friends, that's what we're telling Satan now. We're coming face to face with him and saying, bring on the temptation, bring on the hardship, bring on the deception, the strongholds, anything that you can bring against us, because you will never take our life, not our life eternal, because that life eternal is the truth of who Jesus is. And our true freedom is found in Him. Satan will never be able to touch that. I'm excited to think about the conversations that you're going to have in small group tonight when you talk about not only how Jesus has saved you, but how Jesus has set you free. Enjoy that freedom. Talk about that freedom. Celebrate that freedom. I can't wait to hear your stories.